Hello, this is Ton again from Your Homes Today with a great home-related video from a local provider.
Hi, my name is Ruth. I'm with Financial Education Services. Everybody asks, how did I become that number? You know, you have to understand how your FICO score works, and it's like we've got this number labeled to us and we don't know how we arrived at that number. So, first of all, I want to let you know that the information provided is right off of Fair Isaac. So it's www.ftc.gov is where you can collect this information from. But if you own a home, you get 25 points added to your FICO score. If you rent, you get 15 points. Well, take a look at this no information, this yellow area here. If you're filling out an application and you're able to leave the information blank, do so if you're a renter because you get 2 more points. Who knows how they arrived at this number, but it's set, and that's just the way that it goes. So years at current address, if you can show you have 10.49 years at your current address, you get 23 points. So it's very important to try and stay consistent at an address, okay, because you get more points. Occupation, if you're a professional, you get 50 points added to your FICO score. Now, the only site that I know that uses this word professional is American Express. So I always say to go to American Express, apply for a credit card, use this word professional. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm a professional. So if you can use this word professional, use it and increase your FICO score. American Express, even if you get declined for the credit card, you can feed the system. And when I talk about feeding the system, that means the computer. You're feeding the system your information. And when you go apply for a loan, the loan officer only puts your name, your address, your social security number, and your date of birth. They will never change this word professional. So you can increase your score just by using this word professional. Years at job, if you can show you have 12.5 years at your job, you get 39 points. If you're retired, you're lucky enough to get 43 points. So the more years you have at a job, the better off you are. So let's say that you're a real estate agent and you switch companies. You're still a real estate agent. So combine the years and feed it into the system when you apply for that credit card. Department store cards, if you have just major credit cards, you get 16 points. If you have department store cards and credit cards, you get 27 points. So it's important to have a combination of credit. And what I mean by department store cards is like Target, something that you can only use at Target, or Kohl's, you know, that you can specifically only use at that store and doesn't have a Visa logo on it. So it's important to have a combination of credit cards. Now, if you have a checking account, you get 5 points. Savings, you get 10. But if you have both, you have 20 points. So you want to make sure and have a checking and a savings account. Your debt ratios is your overall credit. So it's how much credit have you had extended to you versus what the balances are. So if you can keep it under 15%, you get 22 points. Number of inquiries. If you have 5 to 9 inquiries in a 2-year period, you will drop your score 20 points. And that is when you apply for credit. It doesn't count when you go in and run your credit. When you're running your credit report, like on Annual Credit Report or Credit Check Total or any of those sites, that's a soft inquiry, and that's a soft pull. So that doesn't count towards the 5 to 9. It's when you're applying for a car loan or a credit card or something on that line, that's when those inquiries count. So it's 5 to 9 hard inquiries in a 2-year period. Now, years in file. If you can show you have 8 years worth of credit history on your credit report, you get 40 points. So what that means is you don't close credit cards. If you close credit cards, you're going to lose the 40 points. I had a client that we cleared up the credit. She was ready to go. A coworker told her to close her credit cards. She dropped her credit score 100 points. And it's going to take 8 years to recover. So don't close credit cards. Use them once every 4 to 6 months. buy a take of gas, get a cup of coffee, that type of thing. So don't close credit cards. And if you get a 0% credit card offer where you can transfer over the balance, go ahead and do that, but don't close the card that you move the balance over from, because you're going to drop your score. With that being said, if you want to increase your score, you don't close the credit cards and you don't pay off the balances in full every month. Only if you want to increase your score. Don't pay off the balances. Leave a $1 balance or a $5 balance or a $10 one month. Switch it up, because if you're paying off your credit cards every month, then you the credit bureaus are reporting 0. It doesn't look like your credit is active, so don't pay them off every month. Now, if you're in the high scores, 760 and above, don't listen to me. Pay your credit cards off every month. That's a great thing to do. Now, number of revolving line. This is credit card only, revolving credit cards. It's not talking about your mortgages, your auto payments, installment loans, student loans, none of that. It's number of revolving lines of credit. So the credit cards, they want you to have 1 to 2 to get 12 points. So the best situation is to have a home loan, a car loan, and 2 credit cards. If you don't have a home loan and a car loan, you need to get 4 credit cards. And that means, as we're taking the negative items off of your credit report, you need to be having these positive lines building your score, because you're not going to get up into the high 700s unless you start building your score. So 4 lines of credit. Percentages of balances. So let's say you have a credit card and it has a $3,000 limit, and you've gone shopping and the bills come in and you have spent $1,500 on your credit card. Well, what happens is you have used 50% of your limit, and when you do that, you drop your credit score 18 points. That's per credit card. So you really want to keep your balances under 30% to get 5 points positive, but even better, if you can keep it under 15%, you're going to get 15 points positive to your FICO score. So it's really important to keep your balances low. Now, I don't mean you have to keep them low all year long. It doesn't matter if, the rest of the year that you run your credit cards up and pay them down, but 30 days before you apply for a loan where you need your FICO score to be good, you need to pay down the credit cards. And I'm telling you 30 days because if you paid your credit card balances today and you went a week from now and tried to run your credit report, what happens is the creditors haven't had time to report to the bureaus, so you're not going to get the FICO score increased in time. So if you need it to do it in a shorter period of time, you need to call your credit card companies and see what day they report to the bureaus, and then make sure your cards are paid down and you don't run your new credit report until that day has passed. So derogatory credit, if you have any collections, repossessions of cars, those type of things, that's 29 points. Okay, slow payments are 14 points. That's 30-day lates and 60-day lates. So the important tips: if you pay a collection that's showing up on your credit report, it will drop your credit score. Collections go by the date of last activity. So usually a collection's got a few years on it if it's actually showing as a collection on your credit report. And if you pay that bill, it will make the date of last activity today, and it will drop your credit score. So you need to try and get them to delete it as you pay that. And if you cannot get it deleted, still pay the collections, but we can help you remove those from your credit report. And like I told you, you want to have 4 accounts in good standing to optimize your score. And don't pay off your credit cards in full if you're trying to increase your FICO score. And the last thing that I want to tell you is, if you have any collections you think that might be on your credit report, don't ask a mortgage person to run a credit report yet. You need to go and run your credit report and get those collections settled before you run the mortgage credit report. Because if you don't get them settled before, you're not going to get as great of a settlement. And if you want to settle debts, you want to settle at the end of the month, not the beginning, because the collection companies have quotas that they have to meet. So here's our information. We do credit report reviews to let you know what you need to do for your score. So to increase your score. So you can reach us at 888-977-1222, or our website is fesexperts.com. You can send an email to info@fesexperts.com. And if you can, go to Facebook at facebook.com, FES Experts, and like us, and we can send you some more credit tips. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching. Please share with anyone who can benefit from the videos. Post your comments or questions below, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel for future videos.